Sure, sure. I've learned, over time with the relationship business, it's important to connect with people. But being an introvert and not being real outgoing, I went through the loss of my oldest son in 2016. He passed away at 21 years old,
Mm.
and in his memory, we started a blood drive that we do once a year, and it's been a great passion point of mine and something to look forward to every year for my family to go through, look forward to, help the community. And it kind of blossomed into making me realize, there were a lot more people that came to the blood drive that didn't just donate blood. They would come and tell me their story of why they
Yeah.
needed to connect with other people and what they need.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey guys, welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with Jamie Steelman. And besides his journey in real estate and what brought him up to today, we're going to have a talk about how he's really passionate about connecting within the community, right? Really bringing that connection home. Jamie, welcome to our show.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to talk about, we talked a little bit, off camera. I'm excited to talk a little bit more about what you're doing in that outreach to the community. But before we talk about all that, why don't you tell our audience a little bit more about you, kind of your journey in real estate and what brought you up to today?
Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate it. So I got into mortgages about 30 years ago, which sounds crazy, 3 decades of doing this. But I kind of fell into the mortgage business like a lot of people do with mortgages and real estate. I worked for a small mom and pop vending company. So I used to go to companies and fill up the vending machines early in the morning before anybody was there.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of do a nod as I walked by. Wasn't very outspoken, was really to myself. And they sold out to a big conglomerate and said, "Hey, we're going to take all the assets except for the employees. So good luck. We're
Right.
done." Kind of thing. So talked to a lady that I knew that was a headhunter and kind of put me through all those different tests. And she said, "You need to be in sales." And I kind of thought, that's hilarious because I avoid people. I go in
Mhm.
before they go to work.
Are
And
you
then
a
I'm
natural,
gone.
are you a natural introvert? Have you always been a natural introvert?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Which is, kind of funny going into this business. But
Yeah.
yeah, I told her made no sense. So she did it a few more times and said, "Yeah, you need to be around people and you need to be selling." So took her advice and got into a two-way radio business. Literally about 6 months before Nextel became a thing and disrupted that industry majorly. So then I had a friend that said, "Let's talk about mortgages." And at the time I'm, 22 years old. And I said, "Don't even know what a mortgage is. I don't own a house. How am I going to sell other people a mortgage?"
Right.
Um, so that's kind of how it all started. And kind of the rest is history, but really love
Okay.
what I do. And it's a great, great business.
That's awesome. And I like to ask this to everybody on my, on my podcast. If you think back, right, through your life, through growing up and all that stuff, was there anybody that was in real estate, an aunt, an uncle, a friend, a neighbor, whatever, that might have planted that seed or even mortgage or, did finance or, right, planted that seed to get, for you to blossom into what you're doing now, right? If that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's ever asked me that question. It's really interesting, but immediately my Aunt Carolyn came to mind. She worked for USB Payne Weber
Hmm.
for about 35 years before she retired. And so she was in the finance world and she was a troubleshooter. So she went to different offices and kind of, cleaned up how they needed to get the profit lines better and that kind of stuff. And she was kind of like a second mom to me.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And I hadn't really made
Okay.
that connection before until you missed it. But yeah, she was in finance and we talked a lot about it.
I love it. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
like to make that connection because I mean, a lot of people don't really, like you said, don't realize that was there, and there's always
Yeah.
something that may be driving them in. So she says you need to be in sales. You're an introvert. What do you do personally, right? Like what things, tricks or tools or things that you use to break yourself out of that introvert mold and be more what the salesperson needed to be?
Yeah. I mean, I think I learned a long time ago, kind of through the process, that there's no way to help people if you're quiet. You can't share your knowledge with people if nobody knows who you are. So
Hmm.
I've always had to kind of push myself out there and keep in mind that I'm doing this as a business because I make a living and take care of my family, but I'm not doing it for me. I'm helping
Right.
people get into homes. I'm explaining how refinances work, why home ownership matters. So that's probably the biggest key. And I don't remember who, but somebody taught me that a long, long time ago, to never think about it as what I have to do. It's what I can do for other people. And there's no way to reach out to them, let them know how it works if I'm a quiet person and
Yeah.
don't connect with people, don't network, do that kind of stuff. So I've always just kind of pushed myself out of that comfort zone and realized, I've got to reach out to people if they're going to know what I know.
Yeah, you got to tell everybody, right? You got to be the voice on the mountain. So as you improved your sales skills, how did you really learn the mortgage industry? Did you just kind of learn it by assimilation, the step by step from ground up? Did you have a mentor within that industry?
Yeah, I've been really lucky. So I've been on the broker side. I've been worked for some large companies, worked for Wells Fargo for a couple of years. I've been on the independent side, the banking side, before I'm with an independent mortgage company now. And so I think along the way, a lot of people, I learned some great things. I learned some things I definitely didn't want to do it that way type of thing. So I think a lot of, whatever you want to call it, kind of hard knocks.
Right.
And I always did a lot of training. Learned something else I learned a long time ago is, staying up on this business, it changes
Oh,
as with most
definitely.
industries.
Hmm.
And the more you dig in, the more you learn. So I had some great mentors along the way that were really good. Biggest thing they always did was just encourage me to learn more.
Yeah.
No matter how long you've been doing it, always, this kind of stuff. Talk to other people, see what's going on out in the world. You can get so caught up in just your little world and think this is all that exists. And
Hmm.
you've really got to, look at what's out there. I mean, we do the same thing with products. I know a lot of people that are in mortgage lending that talk about 2 or 3 different products. Well, especially coming out of COVID, we've got people that earn money all kinds of different ways now, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship is at its height, and so we've got to learn how to take those incomes and figure out how to get people in homes doing that. It's not always your cookie cutter, version. So always learning
Right.
is probably the biggest key.
Okay. What were, as you got into you started learning, you started feeling more comfortable. What were some of the initial challenges you came across when you started, getting more heavier into doing the mortgages?
Sure. I mean, I think like with any sales, especially coming from somebody who's kind of introverted, is why is somebody going to use me?
Mm,
I talk to a lot of people that I hire and people that I bring in to our company, they're like, I'm a pretty nice guy or I'm a pretty nice girl, but why is, if somebody's got somebody they use day in and day out, what do I do to set myself apart from other people? And there's a lot of ways you can do that. I feel like it always has been, always will be a relationship business.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So you've got to get to know people. You've got to see where you connect, where your people are. But yeah, it's getting in front of people and letting them know what you're talking about. So you've got to get the knowledge, but you've also got to go a little ways with making sure you connect with people. The old phrase, people like and trust is real.
Exactly. That's who people work with.
Yeah, always.
It sounds like a part of it is, not a part. A lot of it is mental, right? Getting out of your own way, getting out of your own head. What are some of the mindset things you use? Maybe books, maybe podcasts, maybe whatever, to kind of help you get into that right mindset.
Yeah, I would say, and I was really bad about this for a long time, but I will credit people that tried to get me to do it over and over. I'm really big about systems and time blocking now more than I've ever been. And that allows me to read books, to listen to my podcast, do that kind of stuff where I really was just kind of haphazard. I was busy and busy all the time, but if I took time to stop and write down what I was doing, it was such a mess.
Yeah.
So really time blocking and going, okay, I know I want to get through these 3 books. I want to check this podcast out. I want to reach out to that person and learn more about what they're doing. When you're just running and your day's running you have no time to figure that kind of stuff out. Or if I didn't time block religiously and put everything in my calendar, I would say, hey, I've got a couple hours on Tuesday in the back of my head. And then Tuesday comes and I go, oh God, I forgot about that. I forgot about this. So really just being systematic and really living by a schedule has done wonders for me.
Yeah, it's being intentional, right? It's we can all keep busy, but is busy really moving the needle, right? If you time block, like for me, how it helped me is, it really helped me focus on the time I need to do those income producing activities, right? The things that are going to change my business. So what does your business look like now? I think you mentioned you're in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Yeah. So, like I said, my company is Team Steelman Mortgage at CMG Home Loans. And I have a branch here in Murfreesboro, which is about half an hour outside of Nashville. And I have a team of 4 people that are a part of my production team. And then, of course, we have assigned processors just to my team and assigned underwriters, which has been a huge key in the mortgage world. A lot of people do a round robin and use different kind of people, but having that has been really great. So I've got people in all different areas of the process from start to finish on my team. And that's something I structured over the last couple of years that's made a huge difference in my business. Really finding somebody that specializes in each part of the process. So while I'm sitting up here talking to you, somebody applies for a mortgage. Where am I at? I'm sitting up here talking. So I've got somebody that handles front end stuff that immediately reaches out to that client, gets things rolling with them. Then I have somebody that kind of picks it up from once it's ready to go to processing. Then I also have somebody on my team that helps manage client relationships. So if there's servicing issues, if they've got some trouble with their homeowner's insurance after they've bought a home, all that kind of little stuff that people shouldn't have to deal with, it shouldn't be frustrating for them. So I've kind of built a team around that, and it's had a lot of success doing it that way so that people know they've got somebody to call for whatever stage in the process they're at.
Why was it important for you to build out those individual people? Did you see the lack of that from other mortgage companies? Did you feel that, or were you getting feedback that was a need?
Yeah, I saw a lot of it out there. One of the things I tried to do when I started building my team was talk to clients and get feedback. And we still do that to this day, not just in the way of testimonials, but I'll call them and say, what was great? What was not so great? Because that's invaluable. And then, we sit down. So I've got a couple of people that work remote for me, which is very common these days as well.
Hmm.
But we get together once a month and we just sit down. We get to relationship with each other a little bit more and talk, but we have a checklist. We're like, hey, what have you heard? What's gone good? Hey, I talked to Mr. So and so. He said this was a problem. Was this a isolated incident, or is this something we need to address with a system and really kind of look at it? And so, yeah, we've built it around feedback from clients, feedback from agents, and stuff that we've seen out there. I tell people all the time, agents I work with, a couple of my
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
biggest producing teams that I'm a preferred lender for came to me because they said whatever it was. I liked working with this team over here, but I never talked to that person. So another big focus of mine is, if somebody needs me, a client, an agent, we have a team, but I'm available. I never want to be, yeah, Jamie's great, but I just got passed off to his assistant. I don't really know Jamie at all. Um, so I try to be real personable, and I'm very involved while still trying to get to a decent sized team without trying to grow so much that I'm not in the process.
Well, and I think something you kind of nailed on the head is like, you guys continually address what's working, what's not working. And I think one of the biggest lacks, or what people don't focus on enough, is that part of the business, even when it's going good. Right.
Hmm.
When it's going good is the time you really have to make sure you're doing your checks and balances so it stays that way and it just doesn't all of a sudden fall off a cliff. So I love what you're doing. And I think people at home, guys listening to this, those are some great nuggets to take away. Um, at the beginning and even off camera, we talked about you have a passion for really helping the community, connecting with the community. Tell us a little bit more about that and why that's such a passion for you.
Sure, sure. I've learned, over time with the relationship business, it's important to connect with people. But being an introvert and not being real outgoing, I went through the loss of my oldest son in 2016. He passed away at 21 years old, and in his memory, we started a blood drive that we do once a year, and it's been a great passion point of mine and something to look forward to every year for my family to go through, look forward to, help the community. And it kind of blossomed into making me realize, there were a lot more people that came to the blood drive that didn't just donate blood. They would come and tell me their story of why they
Yeah.
needed to connect with other people and what they need. So it led me to branch out to more people and to be like, hey, if you need something in the business world, I'm your guy. But hey, if you just need somebody to talk to, you need somebody to bounce something off of, I have 5 other children. I have my wife. I have an incredible work family. And now through this blood drive for 9 years, we've built a big network of people that are just out there and have gone through, very similar things or other things. And so it's been great to let them know that I'm here, either way, whatever they need, and just kind of find ways to give back to the community and be there for people and, keep the human side to everything that I do.
Love it. The communities around the country need more of that. There's not enough of that. People are more about me, 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 me. And I love what you do as far as promoting that community culture. Condolences again on your son. Thank you for sharing that story with us. Um, Last question before we kind of sign off. What if you look back over your time, right? You look back over all the stuff you've been through, like what are one or two of the biggest keys for success that you think contributed to getting to where you are today?
I think consistency is one of the biggest things ever. Everything that I've done, whether I've had a little bit of success or a lot of success right away, is just sticking with it. It's amazing sometimes, people say you're this close to success when you give up.
Hmm.
Being consistent, if you know what you're doing and you have something out there that's going to help other people, staying consistent and continuing to do it, even if you don't see the immediate results that you want to, is huge. And that's something I talk to my kids a lot about. Find out what you've got a passion for, and don't let up until you get there. Keep pushing. And then the other thing like we just talked about, I think, it's very true that people say, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. You have to let people know that you're here and that you're genuine. I don't
Yeah.
do mortgages to, collect transactions. We're trying to make a difference and we want referrals. We want to work with people that we enjoy working with. What better way to do that than to
Yes.
find agents and clients and people that you get along with? So I think it's definitely important to let people know where you're coming from before you tell them how great your product is.
I love it. If there's anybody out there listening that wants to get in touch, then maybe they're in the Tennessee area, or they just, what you said resonated and they want to talk to you more about your community outreach. How do they get in touch with you? What's the best way?
Yeah. I mean, phone's probably the easiest and best way. My number is 615-238-7426. You can call or text anytime and, love to be here any way that I can.
Cool. And I think you might have sent us some social media links or whatnot, but we'll put all this stuff in the show notes. Jamie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all you did, talking about your business. I love what you do for your community. Guys at home, I hope you enjoyed this because there were some very good nuggets that were dropped. Really look into your business. Really make sure that you're on top of your operation. Jamie, thank you again. Folks, we'll see you on
Thank
the
you for
next
having
one.
me. Really
Cheers.
appreciate it.
You're welcome. Cheers.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.